Well, we're really looking forward to the year. Actually, we've been through 3 practices, and 2 in shorts and one in shoulder pads. But enthusiasm has been good. We've practiced very well. The intensity level has been good. So it's an exciting time for all of us right now because it's the start of the season. We're like everybody else in the country. We're undefeated right now, and that's always a positive thing. So, but we're looking forward to competing for the Pac-10 championship. We're looking forward to making up from what happened last year. None of us were, and I've mentioned this many times, we're satisfied with 5 and 7. That's not where we want this program to be or we want this program to go. So we talked about that all winter, ever since the season was over. We talked about it all summer. And our goal is to compete for the championship, go to a bowl game, probably the same goal as everybody else should have in our league. So. But, again, sometimes you get a wake-up call. And hopefully last year was a wake-up call, and we have to figure out what we got to do to win football games, and that's the bottom line. So I'll answer any questions that you guys that you have.
No questions. So, can you talk about first of all, the obvious quarterback situation?
Well, at the end of spring, Danny Sullivan was number 1 coming out of spring football and is number 1 right now. Sampson's behind him, and then Brock Osweiler is our 3rd quarterback. And it was very competitive in the spring. Danny understands what we're doing. He's very smart, understands our offenses. He understands our offense, I should say, and understands what's going on defense. And that experience really put him ahead in the spring. Plus, he's physically talented. And I don't know that people really know what he's like unless you're around him all the time. I mean, he's got a strong arm, very, very accurate, big, and he can make things happen. We put him in a tough situation last year when he had to come in and play a lot against SC, and didn't have his best game by any means, but I don't know who did. But he's a guy that learned from that, and I thought he had a good spring. He's got great leadership ability. And in saying that, Sampson pushed him. Sampson's an extremely good athlete, one of the faster players on our team. Gives you a little different look. We'll do the same things, but he can pull it down and run with it. And some of the things we're doing, if he happened to be the quarterback, we'd probably run some option with him and do some different things with him. And then Brock, to me, has got a lot of God-given talent and strong arm, very good athlete. And with Brock, it's a matter of learning what we're doing offensively. Just 18 years old, so that's not easy. But he's very mature beyond his years when he came in here as a high school senior. So I look at it as a positive because there's competition. There's 3 quarterbacks I feel good about playing, and we'll see what happens in the next 3 weeks. And Danny, like I said, is our starter. I'm not afraid, as I said before, to insert another quarterback at times during the game, depending on what gives us the best chance to win. It's about winning. And to me, I haven't done that a lot in my career. I have done it, but if that gives us a chance to win, that's what we'll do. And we really won't know that until we start down towards game time and see what happens.
Yeah, it's not much of Brock helped by the fact he got here in the spring, so he could kind of learn your system then, so he's ahead of fall ball.
Huge. Him coming in early is, it's huge. When those freshmen, it was big for Matt Tucker, too, who also came in early. Seeing that a little bit more around the country. But for a quarterback in particular to come in and have 15 practices and run the offense and execute against seniors in college or juniors in college was a tremendous plus. So he came in the first day, and it's not like, well, I got to learn this route, I got to learn that route. I have a pretty good idea what's going on. So it was big.
You ever started a true freshman?
Have I ever started a true freshman? Boy, you're really testing me. No, I don't think I've. No, I haven't. No.
Just circumstances, or?
Well, you didn't play a lot of them early, in my career, and then. No, we've always had experienced quarterbacks. Maybe that's why I haven't had a lot of 2-in-a-row losing seasons, because we've had experienced quarterbacks.
Might change your philosophy.
That's right.
Dennis, so you could see a platoon system of sorts, just based on what you touched on. It's possible that you can see a rotation of 2 quarterbacks in a given game.
Well, I don't know that. That's not really what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't be afraid to put him in for a series as a changeup, if that was the case. I guess what we're talking about is Danny and Danny and Sampson, because they're a little bit different. And that could happen. That could also not happen. Danny could come in and play well, and I might not do that. So, but it's a thought in our minds as a coaching staff, and as I said earlier, if that gives us a better chance to win, then we'll do it. So, but again, it's right now it's Danny's job to lose, and if we were to play tomorrow, he'd be the starter, and I probably wouldn't, think about alternating quarterbacks right now.
Everybody knows about Chris and Kerry and Kyle, but can you just talk about the depth of receivers you have behind them now too?
Well, the guy of course, Chris McGay is healthy now, and people the first year that I came 2 years ago, he had a great year. I mean, he made a lot of big plays for us. He was hurt last year, and didn't play healthy. Right now, with Kerry and Kyle and Chris and T.J. Simpson, Jarrell Robinson, A.J. Pickens, Brandon Smith. I mean, we've got a very, very, very good group of receivers, and we're taking Chris, moving him around. We're playing him in the slot some, and playing T.J. outside. The guy that's really jumped out at me in the first 3 days of camp is Jarrell Robinson. He's lost weight. He's a receiver now. He's catching the football. He's a very physical guy, but he's learned a lot, and he's learned a lot physically about himself. So, but I feel very good about where we're at receiver-wise. We'll be in 3 probably most of the time. Right now, during the game, we'll probably be in it 90% of the time, just because of our personnel, and be in some 4 and maybe some 5, depending on what I think our strengths and weaknesses are going into a game.
How good do you think Brandon Smith can be if he can stay healthy for a game?
Well, the only thing I'll say about Brandon is he got hurt today, and so I don't know where he's at physically. He hurt his knee, I guess at the end of practice I just found out. So I don't know how serious it is. We won't know that probably till Monday when the doctors look at it.
Dennis, looks like you're going to do a lot of running out of shotgun formations. Is that an idea where you maybe spread the field and operate more in space as opposed to having 7 or 8 guys at the line of scrimmage and try to kind of maul defenses?
Well, that's our plan. I mean, again, we were in 2 tight ends more in my coaching career the last 2 years than ever in my coaching career. Most of the time, I've always been in 3 wides and spread people out and run the football. The only difference that we're doing now that I haven't done is we're in the shotgun a little bit more. And been in the shotgun, but haven't ran the ball as much out of it. That's probably the biggest thing that we spent time on in the off season is running the football out of the shotgun, and it's been good for us. And so you'll see that. But other than that, we'll be spreading people out, running a short passing game, things we've always done, and try to loosen people out. It's not, you don't have to be a rocket scientist offensively. If there's 6 guys, if there's 6 or 5 guys in there, you run it. If there's 7 in there, you pass it. I mean, that's how it's been for a long time. So, but I like what we're doing. I feel very comfortable with what we're doing because I've done it. It's what I know. That's why we're going to put Rich upstairs, and I'm going to be down on the sidelines and calling the plays, obviously with input from him. But I've done that all my career, and so I'm really looking forward to it offensively.